There is a potato farm in northern Maine that's been in the same family for more than 130 years. It was 1886, just before my time. The McCrum's started with a single plot of land in Mars Hill.
Today, that small farm has grown into a company that turns potatoes into chips and frozen fries, sold all across the country. Our Hannah Yashivi spent some time with the McCrum's. Good morning, Hannah.
Good morning, Lee and Sharon. The McCrum's take a lot of pride in their work. Seed potatoes for this year's crop have just gone into the ground, and it'll be another 3 months before farmers know what kind of yield they'll be getting. For the company, now simply known as McCrum, that's only half of it. You may recall a fire at a potato processing plant in Belfast back in the spring of 2022. That facility, owned by McCrum, was fully destroyed. A year later, the company just announced that it will not rebuild. One reason for that decision is a new processing plant in Washburn that the company recently opened. Last harvest, I went to the county to get a behind-the-scenes look at the entire McCrum operation, from the fields to frozen fries.
So right there you have it. So what I just did with my hand, these machines do all day long. Years ago, we didn't know what our yield was until we were all done the harvest.
Nowadays, they know way before that, thanks to these machines that can dig 60 to 80 acres of potatoes per day.
In front, we have 2 windrowers that are coming up through, and what they're doing, they're each taking 6 rows and combining it together for the harvester to pick up.
On paper, Daryl McCrum is one of the owners at McCrum. But when you ask him, he says he's just a farmer. One who picked potatoes like everyone else did back in the day, and who now has these machines doing the job.
It's been amazing the past 10 to 15 years how quick the technology has changed.
These windrowers separate dirt and rocks from potatoes, and then the harvester will come through, puts the potatoes on the truck, and off they go to a storage.
This is one of our storage facilities where the trucks will come, they'll unload, we'll grade them, then we'll store them until the markets ask us to ship them.
It's this technology, commitment, and strong work ethic that has allowed McCrum to keep buying small family farms to grow its acreage and become the top grower in Maine.
The quality of the potato now that we harvest compared to years ago is a lot better.
Daryl says that quality doesn't just happen. All the land they have acquired throughout the years is allowing them to farm in better sustainable ways by doing what farmers call resting the land.
We'll put potatoes on it for 1 year, then let it rest 2 to 3 years before we put another crop on.
Daryl's father taught him if you take care of the land, it'll take care of you.
We're starting to see other growers duplicate what we're doing because they're seeing our successes.
Another key to their success
is just sticking together as a family. Instead of trying to just all do our own thing, we figured out that we're stronger together.
Last but definitely not least, there's other people they consider family. Workers who travel a long way to help harvest these potatoes.
Es una oportunidad muy grande que nosotros los mexicanos no tenemos allá por la facilidad que hay aquí para ganarnos el dinero. Es más fácil aquí que en México.
La compañía McCrum tiene 15 trabajadores inmigrantes, todos de México, y ellos me dicen que esta oportunidad para ellos es invaluable, es plata que ellos se llevan a México para ayudar a los hijos a tener mejores estudios y que la familia siga adelante.
Que tengan estudio, lo principal, dónde vivir, que tengan buen para comer, que estén bien alimentados.
Jose Alfredo Carmona says coming to Maine for 2 months during the harvest is one of his favorite seasonal jobs.
Vamos a regresar, si el patrón está contento con nosotros, vamos a regresar.
A huge bulk of these harvested potatoes go to companies including Frito-Lay, Hers, Utz, and Cape Cod for them to make chips. Their biggest challenge is always Mother Nature. It's a gamble every year how much rain will fall, how many potatoes will come out. After all, 80 to 85% of a potato is made from water.
Until you dig it up, you're just nervous, if you will, right? Because when we grow this crop, we're providing for a lot of families. If we don't do a good job growing this crop, I'm going to let them down.
Last October, McCrum harvested 80,000 tons of potatoes, one of their biggest crops ever. A another huge bulk of those are turned into frozen French fries.
So many of our customers, we were providing appetizers for them, being the potato skins or the wedges, and they kept saying, "Can you give us French fries? Can you give us French fries?" And we kept saying, "No, that's not our business." And then after a while, we were like, if they keep asking, there's a demand, right?
So they took that leap of faith with about 100 workers. This modern facility in Washburn is nearly all run by computers and machines.
This right here, you'll see these throughout the plant. That's how everything's controlled now, right? It's like your big iPad. So the potatoes are coming in, and in the back here, they're going to go through a washer that'll make sure all the rocks are out of them. They're dried off now.
And this is where the magic happens. Millions and millions of potatoes are turned into French fries.
We're sizing the potatoes so they can go to the proper French fry cutting machine.
Fry batches that are all custom made depending on the buyer.
Right now we have around 80 different customers that we supply fries to on a steady basis.
Customers like Applebee's, TGI Fridays, Red Robin, and Golden Corral.
And right here we'll weigh the French fries, then package them into 5 or 6 pound bags. We're about 20 below zero in here. We have about a 5 to 6 day storing capacity. What we produce, we can store. For years and years, we sold to customers that made French fries that said, Maine wasn't good enough. The potatoes here aren't good enough to make a good fry and stuff like that. We got a little ugly about that after a while. It's like, they are good potatoes. We can do a good job. And this just proves it, right?
And now the moment of truth.
Thank you.
But if you do a side-by-side comparison with our fries and other folks' fries, you can instantly tell the difference. We have a lot of local people we'll give the fries to, and they're like, we never knew fries could be this good. And the reason they're that good is we grew the potatoes and we made the fries.
Fries made in Maine. I'll take a large, please.
And you might be wondering, what's in the future of McCrum? Well, Daryl tells me there are about 30 children coming up in the 6th generation of his family, and he hopes at least a few of them have the desire to continue their work and legacy. Hannah Yashivi, News Center, Maine.